How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading while the price is going up or down. FININCIAL and Tether CTO Paolo Ardoino to testify in market manipulation lawsuit. FININCIAL and Tether CTO Paolo Ardoino will be deposed this week as part of a years-long class action lawsuit against both firms and their associated insiders. Tether and FININCIAL's counsel had asked for Ardoino's deposition to be delayed to early October. Defendants simply want to ensure that Mr. Ardoino is adequately prepared, they said. The deposition topics were not clarified until September 7th, only 3 business days before his out-of-court testimony was set to be delivered. Ardoino's deposition is slated to take place on Wednesday if it is not delayed, which it was denied, so. The lawsuit claims FININCIAL and Tether have caused over $1.4 trillion in damages to the crypto market. It accuses Tether, FININCIAL Crypto Capital, and the firm's associated executives of financial misconduct, including bank fraud and money laundering. Tether has denied allegations of misconduct, which includes market manipulation. Both sides had disagreed on what topics could be covered in the deposition, which included gaps in the trading records produced by the defendants, their loan-making policies, and what wallets held reserves for Tether. So, a few discrepancies. Judge Felina said any lack of preparation on the part of the defendants for Ardoino's testimony is largely of their own doing. She said she did give them plenty of time to prepare, and the court is skeptical that the preparation for this one additional topic materially increases any burden. So they're only asking Ardoino to cover one more topic than he has covered in the past. A hack was first noticed on Saturday when a post on Twitter on Vitalik's account posted an NFT link for software provider Consensus. It had a malicious link that prompted victims to connect their wallets to mint the NFT, but in reality it connected you to a drainer, so it just took all your money. So the post has since been deleted, but there were a lot of people that felt damage to this. So I would issue any warning clicking on any link from anyone, even if it's someone you know. Ethereum turns inflationary as gas fees plummet to 2023 lows. Ethereum transaction fees have slipped toward 2022 lows. Data from Coinmetrics shows that amid the on-chain activity from NFT sales, meme coin trading, and Telegram bots has been subsiding. So the main areas where Ethereum got its traffic isn't really doing much. The demand for gas on Ethereum goes down, Ethereum turns inflationary. So we have seen an increase of 492 ETH since this happened, so that's mainly attributed to the lack of activity. There has been an uptick in activity over the past month, and Lee said that the largest gas consumers have been DeFi, so we are seeing a little bit of a tick up in DeFi, but that really doesn't mean too much when you have a lot of sources. This could be attributed to the Bitcoin ordinals because a lot of Bitcoin and a lot of NFT projects moved over to ordinals, and it's just cheaper there. SBF lawyers again asked for pretrial release because prison internet sucks, so they just keep begging to get SBF out because he doesn't have proper conditions. They say that the lawyers argue that they have lost time to effectively prepare for trial, and therefore they respectfully reiterate their request that the court order Mr. Bankman-Fried's temporary release. So they really want him out of jail. He probably should have thought about that before tampering with witnesses. But onto the charts. Over on the daily, we are getting a pretty decent drop away. Nothing too crazy yet. We are heading down toward our first Fibonacci zone, right around this 291.92.7. Our RSI is falling pretty hard. Stochastic's coming down real harsh. The VWAP is crashing. Our money flow is curling out, and the momentum's coming down. So overall, the daily does look pretty bad. We have gotten several red candles in a row, so it is likely we could get some sort of a retest though. So I would bear that in mind. Our Bitcoin dominance is continuing to go up, even though Bitcoin's coming out. Our stochastic is running up. RSI is kind of tapering off. Our VWAP is going up. Our money flow is coming up and our momentum's coming up because our VWAP is strong. So if the money flow can continue through that neutral and go bullish, our money flow, or our Bitcoin dominance, may be able to push forward. So we may be able to, we did kind of fill that gap area, but we may move, we do have a little bit of a gap up here, so we could try to trend upwards. That would make sense as we're getting closer and closer to the halving, but until the halving, we probably won't see too much of an uptick in price action. Our stochastic is starting to kick down, our RSI is starting to dip out, our VWAP is starting to come down, our money flow is in a slight bullish trend, but it is on kind of shaky ground. So if we get a red candle tomorrow and push lower, we could form a lower low on on the money flow, which could drag us lower. However, if we do get a green candle, we could make a bounce from here. We would want that green candle to fill this red candle. Otherwise, when you get a weak green candle after a strong red candle, and then like a couple more weak green candles, it usually plays out in a dump. Don't know if we're going to have any kind of examples. Here we tried to get a strong green candle, but then we wound up with some weak green candles that pulled us under. Here we kind of dropped, got a weak green candle, another weak green candle, we just continued to drop, so it's kind of what I'm warning of. Our stochastic is falling down, our RSI is trying to bounce, our VWAP's in the bearish territory, and our momentum is coming out, so overall we do have more bearish action than bullish here on the futures, so we could break this 25k and then see our lower supports fill for that 20k area that we have. Remember, we have this 20k gap and this 34k gap, so we could come down, finally fill this 20k gap that we've been warning you for months, and then see the bottom fill, at which point we could start our bull run, or at least our price accumulation phases, which if you don't know the phases of the market, I highly suggest you hit the like, subscribe, and join us in the Discord link, because we have some resources for you for that. But onto Bitcoin, we are pushing away from our pattern here and overall trending out pretty decently. We did get let's see how much, almost $1,000 drop today. Stochastic's starting to head down, RSI is starting to head down, our VWAP is breaking out, our money flow is pushing out, and our momentum is coming out. So overall, we have more bearish pressure here, and we could see this breakdown finally happen. We did kind of get that fake retest, and then we came back down and started to reject away now. Our RSI is coming up, our stochastic's coming up, the money flow is in the bearish territory, our VWAP is trying to come up, but it looks like it is in jeopardy of rolling over, so watch out for that. We could set up a bottoming pattern here, as this is a bullish engulfing candle that wants to set up a rounding bottom. We have that in our Discord as well, so again, join that Discord if you want some help with these things. Our momentum's coming up, so that wants to set up some bullish pressure forward, but that will be dependent on that VWAP pushing forward. If the VWAP falls flat, that momentum will do the same. Our RSI is starting to roll over here on the 2 hour. Our stochastic had a bullish cross, but it's not really going anywhere. And our VWAP does have bullish momentum, but it's not too strong yet. So if the VWAP starts to roll over here, we could see another swing down. Our momentum is coming up with a double green dot, and our money flow is slightly inching away. So if the VWAP can gain some strength, we could see continued push up. However, if the VWAP starts to lose strength and rolls over, we could start another leg down. So the next few hourly candles could be pretty important to tell you which direction we're going to go. This could be a kind of bear flag, or maybe some sort of down channel. We're going to have to kind of watch what form. Overall, we are making lower lows and lower highs, which is a textbook down channel, but it's not like visually yet. Our stochastic's starting to roll over, RSI is starting to roll over. I Again, down channels are bullish patterns, so you would want that if you're hoping for more upside. But if you're hoping for that gap to fill so we can finally put that gap to rest, then you don't want any sort of upside from here. The momentum is trying to come up, our money flow is starting to come out, and our VWAP is starting to roll over. Our stochastic is starting to reject away, and our RSI is starting to reject away. So overall, things are looking like we could start to push away from here. Over on graph for the daily, we are starting to push lower. This is a confirmation of a breakdown so far. Stochastic is pushing out, RSI is pushing out, our money flow is pushing out, the VWAP is pushing out, and our momentum is dropping. So overall, we have some heavy bearish action here, about just as much as Bitcoin. Over on the 4-hour, we are trying to make a bounce with our RSI. The stochastic is trying to run up. The money flow is trying to push through that neutral, and our VWAP is trying to make a push through that neutral as well. So if the next 4-hour candle is bullish, we could continue to see some price action forward, as our money flow and VWAP would likely cross over to the bullish side. However, keep an eye on if they cross with strength. If they cross weak, like it did kind of back here, the VWAP crossed strong, but the money flow didn't go anywhere. So if that happens again, we could just go flat, which we could form a bear flag and end up rolling away from. Over on the 2-hour, our stochastic is trying to push up, our RSI is trying to push up, the VWAP is kind of iffy, it does look like it could roll over, our money flow is trying to push back up, and our momentum's coming up with a double green dot, so the 2-hour does look pretty decent for a continued bounce up. Over on the 1-hour, the money flow is starting to sharply come away, so that isn't too good for us. If that continues, the 2-hour is likely going to weaken, which will weaken our other time frames as well. Our stochastic is kind of topping out here, and the RSI is about to fall. The VWAP is in the bullish territory, about a 7, but it does look like it's struggling to get above this area and get some strong bullish momentum. If it rolls over here, we could start another leg down. Over on Anchor for the daily, we are starting to push away and confirm a rejection. Stochastic is dropping, RSI is dropping, our money flow is dropping, our VWAP's coming out, and our momentum's coming out. Very similar to graph and Bitcoin. Over on the 4-hour, we are about halfway down to our breakdown, so this is the point where we could see some sort of reversal. Just remember, you don't always get 100% of your move, so if you took a short here, you might want to scale out and then wait to see if you continue down. If you start to pull back up, you could sell off. Not financial advice, those are just ways you can trade. Our RSI is coming out, stochastic's coming out, the money flow is coming out, and the VWAP wants to head up. So we do have some little bit of bullish upside possibility, but that VWAP's going to need to continue its strength to the upside, and the money flow is going to have to go up with it. Over on the 2-hour, not looking too hot here. We are kind of just stair-stepping down. We do have a gap here at 1758 and a gap here at 1868. So that does leave the possibility of us to fill those gaps. Oh, another one right around here at 1828. So we could come up to fill those 3 gaps, but that may be at a later time. We're making a bearish engulfing candle. Our RSI is coming out, stochastic speed down, the money flow is trending into the bearish territory, and the VWAP doesn't look so hot, and it looks like it could start to drop down. Over on the 1-hour, we are starting to push away, starting to kind of round off. Our RSI is continuing out, so we're continuing this kind of pattern. Our VWAP is trending out, our money flow is overall kind of trending up. We are making consistent lows, but not really getting higher or lower lows. Our momentum does want to come up with a double green dot, but if the VWAP starts to break bearish, we could see another leg down from here. Considering we've taken some plunges, we could see some more heartache on the way. So hopefully you have been listening to me over the last while, and any profits you did take when we are up in these ranges. But we are hitting our value area low here. We did wick to it, so we do have potential to bounce from here on XRP for the daily, but that'd be dependent on the rest of the market being able to make a bounce up. Stochastic's coming down, RSI is coming down, VWAP's coming out, the money flow's coming out, and the momentum's coming out. Again, going over that because it's the same, or real quick because it's the same across everything we've seen so far. In the 4 hour, we do have a potential to make a bear flag here, so watch out for that. The RSI is coming up, Stochastic's running up, our VWAP is pushing up, and the money flow is struggling to gain bullish momentum. We are pushing that neutral, but not with any strength. We are in jeopardy of kind of rolling away, so if the lower time frames start to weaken, I would watch out. We do have a double green dot here on the momentum, but the VWAP's not looking too bullish right now or too strong. It's kind of struggling at this 3-4 zone, where it has struggled several times in recent history, where we've gone just flat. So again, watch out for a bear flag. Over on the 2 hour, similar scenario, bear flag forming. Stochastic's kind of rounding out, RSI is coming up, our money flow is trying to head up, our VWAP's trying to come up, and our momentum's trying to come up. So we do have that going for us, but I would be weary. Kind of draw this out for you if you want to see what we could have for our possibilities. So that bear flag could drop us not too bad to 44 cents. Zoom out, get this volume profile. Have a bigger volume profile, zoom out, grab that real quick. So that could put us somewhere in between our value area low and our point of control for our previous volume profile. 38 cent support that we had. So we do have that range. This could be our primary breakout to take us down toward that. So watch out for that. We'll go on to the 2. We're on the 1 hour now. So we do have some potential to continue to push up. Watch for a breakaway. If we break away, we could make a rounding bottom here and possibly form some goofy looking cup and handle, but that would be max hopium. But again, you would likely want us to see more pain. That way we can see that gap fill. Our stochastic's starting to come down, RSI is running up, the VWAP's coming up, and the money flow is coming up. The momentum is pushing up, so we do have potential to see further upside. But if the stochastic starts to push on and the VWAP stalls out right around the zone here, we could see further downside and get our third touch at the bottom, at which point we would be in jeopardy of breaking down. So over on the algo, again, if you haven't already, hit the like and join us in the Discord and hit the subscribe. But for the daily here, we are starting to confirm a rejection. Stochastic's coming out, RSI is sharply coming out, our money flow is coming out, our VWAP's coming out, and the momentum's coming out. The VWAP's actually a little more gradual here than all the other coins, shockingly. Our stochastic has a bullish cross that wants to push us up on the 4 hour. RSI wants to push up, the money flow's a little iffy, the VWAP is pushing up, and the momentum is trying to kind of bottom out here. It doesn't really have too much lower it can push below here though, so bear that in mind too. Over on the 2 hour, we are overall in a down channel, so that could end up pushing us forward. Stochastic is coming out, RSI is trending out, our money flow is breaking bearish, our VWAP's trying to push bullish, but neither have very much strength either way, and the momentum has a double green dot, so I would watch the hourly pretty close here. Stochastic's starting to round off, and our RSI is pretty flat here. The VWAP's starting to round out, and the money flow is kind of flat. So the VWAP wants to lose strength, and the money flow wants to gain strength. So again, pretty indecisive looking. I would watch the next candles pretty closely. Our momentum is trying to push up, but if the VWAP starts to break bearish, then we're likely going to see another leg down. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.